Hi, this is Peter, and in this video I'm going to talk about the Journal of Advanced Technological Education, or JATE. You can reach me at my email address, peter.kazarinoff@pcc.edu. So my name's Peter Kazarinoff, and I'm a co-PI of MNT-EC, and I work on JATE, and I also produce the Talking Technicians podcast and do a lot of other fun stuff with MNT-EC. I'm faculty in engineering at Portland Community College in Portland, Oregon, and there I teach classes on engineering programming and mostly mechanical engineering stuff right now. JATE is a peer-reviewed technical journal, and it's produced by and for the ATE community and community colleges. The writers are ATE Project and Center faculty and staff, community and technical college faculty, and HEE project and center workers. So if you're involved in an ATE project or center, JATE is a journal that you can submit a manuscript to. The readers of JATE are ATE project and center staff and community college faculty. So we're hoping to add to the breadth of knowledge in technician education and share that with community college faculty so that we can improve community college technician education. JATE is free to submit to and is free to read. All of our articles are released under a Creative Commons license. So if you read JATE, you can use any of that in your classroom, any of that in your presentations, any of that in your grant proposals. And it is free to submit to JATE. There is no cost to submit a manuscript. JATE is excited to announce its first print publication. We published our first issue, and if you'd like a copy of the hard copy of JATE, you can either go to the High-Tech Conference, because every registrant at the High-Tech Conference is going to get one of these hard copy published JATE issues, or you can also just send me an email and the journal can send you one of the hard copies, and it looks really good. Other peer-reviewed technical journals that you might send manuscripts to might be something like the Journal of Chemical Education, that's called JChem Ed, or the Journal of Engineering Education, JEE. And JATE is sort of like these journals, but again, it's free to submit to, it's free to read, and all of our articles are released under Creative Commons license, so you can freely use any of the materials that are in JATE. So if you're working for an ATE project or center or at a community college, why should you worry about publishing? Well, publishing can help your professional advancement. It can build your resume. It's a great way for a grant-funded project or center to disseminate their work. If you've written an annual report for an ATE project or center showing that you have peer-reviewed publications on that report, is a clear way of demonstrating your results. It's also a way to contribute to the advancement of technician education and advancement of science education. And it's just a good way to get into the field of writing generally. If you've written a grant application, that's a lot less work, I think, than writing a peer-reviewed manuscript. So if you've written a grant, you can write a peer-reviewed journal article. Writing in peer-reviewed journals is also a great way to go about professional development and networking. You can find co-authors that are in your same content area and work with them on something. And publishing can be a benefit in professional advancement when you go for things such as part-time faculty to full-time, or maybe you're looking for a new role, or possibly going up for tenure if your community college has that. To submit your article to JATE, what you need to do is go to the MNT-EC website, click on Journal, and then click on the Submit Your Article. There we have a pretty simple web form where you need to enter some basic information like your name and your email address, and then you upload your manuscript. I'm going to talk a little bit more about how to write a manuscript and what goes into it, but for right now, just know that the process is pretty simple, and we have a template online that you can use to write your manuscript. If you're interested in peer-reviewed publication and interested in JATE, how can you contribute? Well, you could definitely submit an article to JATE or just submit an abstract, a title, or an idea to one of the editors. We'd love to talk with you about your article ideas before submission. We also need expert reviewers to review articles, and you could also suggest a reviewer who's a colleague. Include JATE in your dissemination plans in grant proposals. In addition to saying which conferences you're going to present at, you could also say that you are going to publish in JATE. And include journal publications in your CV, in your resume, and your NSF biosketches if you're doing a grant proposal. Next, I'm going to talk about the peer-reviewed process. If you've never published an article in a peer-reviewed publication like JATE, let's go over how this process works. There are generally 4 parts. The first part is writing. The second part is reviewing. The third part is revising your article. And the last part is your article is published. So let's talk in a little more detail about each one of these specific parts of the peer-reviewed journal writing process. So the first part is writing. In order to write a journal article, you need to have an idea for your article and some sort of work that you've completed. If you worked at a community college or part of an ATE center or project, you've done a lot of work. You just need to think about how are you going to turn that into an article idea. Next, you'll need to download the JATE article template, read through our author guidelines, and then construct your article using the template. What you write is then called a manuscript. And along with your manuscript, you also need to upload a cover letter when you submit an article to JATE. We also ask that you acknowledge JATE's copyright agreement and that you suggest some reviewers who are peers in your content area. So once the article is submitted, next what happens is that article is reviewed. So the JATE editorial staff will then accept your article for review, and then a corresponding editor will be chosen, and that person is in charge of going back and forth with you over email in order to get the best reviews possible and help you improve your article before publication. The editorial board will choose reviewers, either 2 or 3 reviewers per article. And then the reviewers read through your article and then submit their reviews back to the journal. Once the reviewers are finished, those reviews are sent to the author, and the author revises their article. They revise their article based on the reviews and then resubmit their article after they make changes. Sometimes a rebuttal letter is required when you upload your second draft. And it's possible that there will be another round of review depending on how many changes the reviewers think were necessary. Finally, your article will get published. This happens when the journal accepts your final manuscript, and JATE will then produce a final proof. That proof will get sent to you and will wait for your okay before the article is published online. So that's the peer-reviewed journal publication process: writing, reviewing, revising, and publishing. So if that seems like something that you can do, and I know that you can do it, submit your article to JATE. Again, by going to Mintech's website, clicking on Journal, and then clicking on Submit Article. If you need a little bit more to get started, we've got a couple different resources. JATE runs a monthly writers group, and you can join that online group. They meet once a month, and it's a group of new and experienced writers that talk about barriers, challenges, article ideas, and give each other help and support so they can write their journal articles. We also have a reviewers group that meets monthly. And this is a group of experienced and new reviewers to talk about things such as how to write impactful reviews and make sure that authors feel encouraged. What do you do as a reviewer? And our reviewers group reviewed and created our review form that we send to reviewers. And also this September, we're offering a professional development workshop from September 13th to September 15th, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific time, and this is going to be online over Zoom. If you'd like to join our journal writing workshop, we'd be pleased to have you, and there's some limited stipends available for community college faculty. If you have any questions or you're interested in JATE, please send me an email at peter.kazarinoff@pcc.edu. I'd love to hear from you and hear what your thoughts are on the journal, hear about any article ideas, if you're interested in reviewing, or if you need some support, like joining our reviewers group, our writers group, or professional development workshop. And this work has been funded through the National Science Foundation.